Welcome to Big Fight Weekly, and yeah, I brought someone special on this side of my camera, Don McGuire. Thanks for that drum roll you did there, mate. Welcome to Big Fight Weekly, episode 62. Switching it a bit up to this week, we have a musician, a talented musician. But first, I'll introduce you to my mutual co-host in the legend, Donald McGuire. And our guest today is... see your face, don't get upset, mate. Our guest today is none other the talented musician, Nate White.
What's up?
Well, obviously, thank you for allowing us to use your music for our intro as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Let me jump in here real quick, man, because Nate White is a Midwest American legend, bro. Not only is he multi-diverse and multi-talented. So, you know, I want to get something clear real quick right out the gate. Most musicians can't frickin' sing. They can't play multiple instruments. And they go in and they get this monotone, fucking pre-scripted music. Nate White not only came out with 3 albums during the pandemic, but he brought 28 to 30 other different artists to can't even speak today, in a collaboration. But Nate White plays a lot of the instruments in his albums, and it was a tribute to his daughter. Nate, what did those 3 collaborations on those albums mean to you, and what did it mean to your daughter for you to pay homage with Princess Superhero, brother?
Oh, she loves it. Yeah, no, that's, my kids are like, you know, the only reason I do this, because they love it. But no, yeah, there was, I don't know, she was probably, it was right when I started working on my solo album. I was in a band called Brandon Freak, still am, but we broke up. Had an album produced by Jim Wirt, who's produced FIONA APPLE, INCUBUS, Seven Dust, list goes on. He's a great producer. He's awesome. And we broke up, so then I worked on my solo album and asked my daughter what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she said a princess superhero. So kind of took that on and had a whole you know artwork and everything. Oh, look at that! Yeah.
So freaking dope.
Yeah. So, but then so she digs it, man. She really does. But I took on the old comic book theme, you know, and everything, and it was great working with all the people I worked with. I think on the total of the 3 albums, it was like 33 different musicians, and collaborated with them, and I'd write the music, and then they'd come in and put their 2 cents in, and you know, write like the lead. I've got multiple lead guitarists that come in and play. There's almost a different drummer on every track, which kind of gives it diversity, which I dig. It sounds like a different band on every song. It's, I mean, minus, of course, my vocals, but
yeah.
No, it was a blast, dude. She loves it. My kids love it. I'm in so many projects right now. It's kind of ridiculous, but you know.
I love it, dude. I mean, I don't mean to cut you off, but I love it. You know, your shirt is righteous, but the last time I seen them, they fucking sucked balls, dude. I mean, if I wanted to go see fucking Rush, I would go see Rush. You know, I want to take you a little bit back in time, because people need to know me and Nate White are brothers. We've been brothers for a long time. And, you know, most people in the industry don't know me for doing music, because I don't like to do my music shows very often. When I do, they're special to me, and I don't want them watered down or tainted. You know, Nate, and I hope you don't mind me telling this story before we totally jump into your interview. You know, I did a show with, I think it was Sloan Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, and had, you know, and I asked Nate, would he come on the show? And Nate's like, dude, that's 2 totally different genres, but I'm down. And Sloan Bone talks about getting shot 8 times, falling from a 3-story building, going to drinking water, and didn't realize it until fucking the water poured out of the side of his stomach. And Nate's all, how in the hell am I supposed to follow that up? And it was a tremendous moment in my life, because see, as professionals in the industry, the true humble ones, don't see themselves on that same field as other. And granted, when you talk about Bone Thugs and Harmony, you talk about icons of the so-called rap industry. I don't correlate music that way. I correlate it by talent. So when I looked deep into my heart that day and I realized I wanted to do a special show, and the two names that popped in my head were Bone Thugs and Nate White. Now, is one rap and one a totally different style, alternative style of music? Yes, but the path is the same. Most people don't realize in this industry, a lot of songs, a lot of attributes to the albums come from within. You hear Nate talk about his daughter, and greatness came from that. Nate, when I brought you on that show with Bone Thugs and Harmony, you kind of dwelled more into the music scene. You got more in the studio. What greatness has come in the last 3 years, other than the albums? I mean, I know we all have our trials and tribulations and adversities, but what greatness has come to the life of Nate White?
Oh, just there's no greatness. It's no,
bro, come on. No, I'm gonna stop you right there, because there's a gentleman by the name of DJ P, who's a brother of ours, who won Mixmaster Season 3, one of the greatest DJs in the world, and he saw something in your work and put it to vinyl. So there was greatness, brother.
There was. Yeah, no, he came to me, and he had just started a label. He only had one other person. There's a rapper from Kansas City. It's a really good album too. The album's called The Butterfly. Trying to remember the name of the artist. I feel so bad. I have his album in my room. Oh, Between. That's his name. But no, it's killer. And I kind of, was looking for some sort of label to put it out. I've known him and his brother for years, and felt honored that to put his name on that. But I invested everything on it, so yeah, that is great. That is cool. But let's see, 3 years, that's a long time. We all went through a lot with COVID and everything, and it was kind of blessing actually, because during COVID, Brenda Freak got back together, the band that we broke up with, and we've been playing shows and opening up for Texas Hippie Coalition, played a show with Paralandra, and then I also, my friend his name's Michael Smoot, he's on 3 tracks on Princess Superhero, playing lead guitar, and he had a band but with no singer, and asked me if I'd want to write their album. So I did that, and it's called Interrogation Point. We released it April 20th of this year. You can find it anywhere. It's called The Truth Works. It's on, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube. You can find it anywhere, as well as mine, Princess Superhero. But I got a chance to write another album. So I mean, that's always great, man, for sure. It's the only release I got, like if I don't get that shit out to the world, then it's just going to sit in my stomach forever. And that's why I don't own a gun.
Yeah. Well, before I pass it to Chris, you're a really humble dude. And, I think it's been about a year now. I've been sick so long, I can't even freaking remember. But, one of the greatest moments was with me and you at Jack Ampey, or wherever the hell that amphitheater was, when we took a picture up next to the bus, and a flower child came running up on us. Remember that moment? We were trying to take that selfie of me and you after.
Right? He was definitely she was not wearing panties. He was not ashamed of it either.
No.
That was kind of nuts.
But it was a great opportunity, because I got to see you and Branda Freak, and it was a beautiful moment, man. Dude, you're not just a singer. You're not just an artist. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into every moment that you're on the stage. And bruh, and that's why I bring you on my syndicated show. That's why I have you in my life. You're my true brother. But you're one of the most talented individuals that I've ever met. You know, with that being said, I'm gonna let this little Englishman jump on you for a minute and have his way with you.
Welsh done. I'm Welsh. English is across the other way.
Can't be screwing those up.
I know geography isn't a good point in America, but come on now.
Oh, you don't want to talk about what comes from Wales.
Oh yeah, I've already heard it. Nate, I want to start from taking you back to the start of everything. You know, what instrument did you learn first? What's your favorite instrument you played? You know, and what inspired you to pick up so many instruments and run with everything? You know, I'm a drummer myself. I play a bit of guitar, but not fantastic. But being a drummer was always my forte. There's a lot of people out there,
right,
especially in the metal industry, to new metal. You know the different genres you have of metal or thrash, but it influenced me. But obviously, my influence might be different to yours. But what was something? You know, what was the start? What did you choose, and what inspired you?
Well, I'm from Sandusky, Ohio, just right outside of Cleveland, and I moved here in '87, which is quite a while ago. But yeah, in third grade when I lived there, we had the option of choosing an instrument. You know, so my mom went out and I chose a saxophone. She bought me a saxophone and played that all the way till I graduated. And I was quite the athletic person. You know, I played college baseball at Evangel University here, and while I was going to college, I probably could have got kicked out of that school about 1 million times. But I was in a band called Avarice, and we were together for 8 years. And you know, I kind of, you know, of course I could still play saxophone or whatever, but I just kind of pushed away from that and Damon Horst, the guitar player, and a lot of my friends, you know, my good friend Dan Coulter, Esquire, taught me guitar, and I, you know, just went with it, and I love the guitar. It was awesome. It was just a new challenge for me, because when you're playing a saxophone, you're playing one note at a time. It's not like you can play chords, or, you know. So, and then once I got really good at that, you know, of course, bass comes really easy. So, but that's, if you want to know like what I love playing bass, oh man, you just hold everybody's groove, you know. And then God, I picked up. It was just a challenge for me to pick up more and more instruments, you know. And the one that, and I'm okay at it now, is what you played was drums. And so at my studio, I'd have these drummers come out, and they'd bring their drums every time. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just buy my own set of drums and leave them here? That way, when they come and play or practice, you know, we did all the recording at Studio 2100 for the final drums and vocals and stuff. So they would come out and just essentially rehearse what we were getting ready to record. But that way, they didn't have to bring the drums. So over the last 5 years, I've gotten pretty decent on drums. But I don't know. It's just a challenge. You know, I own a couple trumpets, you know, clarinet and piano. I'm no pianist, but I can finger myself around. Whoa, it sounded crazy. But
it's an odd instrument. Like
fun here.
Yeah. The piano is a hard instrument. You know, people say about the drums that, you know, the drums is a hard instrument to play, but I know a few friends that play the piano. Like, me watching them, and I can never get my head around it. And you know what I mean? And it's only like, you know, but it's so intricate.
Right. It is, yeah, very. But no, that's I just always felt the urge to, you know, learn a new instrument. You know, what do they say? The jack of all trades, and you know, great at
master of none. But yeah, I think you're the master of all.
I knew that was the next line. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, but singing, oh man, I don't even know how that started. I remember the first band, Avarice, they were looking for a lead singer, and my friend said, I don't know how good he can sing, but he should be a hell of a front man. And so I went in there, and you know, we were young, you know, we weren't professional yet, and boy, it took us 8 years to get that far. And you know, then I took vocal lessons and really really concentrated on that, and then got with Brand of Freak and worked with Jim Wirt, and then we broke up and did my album, and then got, with Interrogation Point. So it's just, yeah, it's good. We might be possibly Brand of Freak jumping on the second leg of Texas Hippie Coalition's tour and playing some shows with them on their next tour. So that's a plus. We're trying to stay in the, Midwest shows, not hitting the coast because, of course I've got 3 kids, and unless the money's right.
I get that.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the next year. So,
Nate, I got a question to ask you, because Springfield is kind of hard on the people that grow. I mean, they only want to recognize John Goodman, Brad Pitt, people of that caliber. But then when you peel back the complexity and the layers of what creates the artistry in Springfield, you're at the top of the list. The only other group that I feel that can even somewhat, hold your bag would be Troy, and I mean, I think they're great at what they do.
Don't sleep on Paralander, man.
Well, I haven't really heard much of them because, of course, I've been, kind of down and out. But the point I'm trying to get is, I feel that, localized in our area, that you truly haven't got the true accomplishments or the true accreditations that you truly deserve. I mean, I've watched you grow and grow and grow over the years, and it's absolutely amazing. People could listen to your album and only get a vibe. I've been to your shows,
right,
and you put 110% in every moment, from the minute the music starts playing until the end of your set. You were just totally enthralled. What goes through the mind of Nate White? I remember I was there when we bought those cheap little sunglasses that turned out to be such an iconic movement in Nate White. But what goes through your mind when you step out on that stage in front of all those people? Because what I see is, it's tremendous. It's beautiful, man. I got to admit, man, it took me back to see how much passion and pride you put in every set, every song. What goes through the heart of Nate White?
Oh, it's a different world when I step on that stage, man. I get a little nuts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing more I like doing is going out and being myself on stage and entertaining people, man. I mean, I don't need no damn accreditation. Fuck all that shit, man. I just want to do this for a living, make enough money, leave my kids something when I'm dead and gone. But I'm only on this rock one time, so I'm going to go up and do exactly what I think I was put here to do, and that's what entertain people. When I get on that stage, I'm going to melt faces. That's just what what we do. So, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can put us on stage with anybody. Nobody's going to walk away from that thinking like, oh, God, those guys are terrible. Hell no, man. No, you just bring it. Like you said, 110% every time. Because if you don't, how are you doing up there, Like, are you a pretender? You just want to be a rock star? I don't give a fuck about fame, dude. No, Of course, everybody would like to have a little bit of money, which is something I don't have. But, working on it, and seeing what happens. But yeah, when I'm a different person. Oh yeah. As soon as I step off that stage, though, back to Nate. Back to Nathan. So.
Dude, one thing you brought up though, bro, that I really admire, and I think that's why you've sat at this very table and broke bread with me. You've been in my house. You're one of few. It's because we don't do this for fame. We don't do this for glory. We do this because this is who we are. This is what we love.
Yep.
And it's incredible because, you know me, I'm a very introverted person, and people say, well, how could you go do this? But in my real life, there's very few people that I correlate myself with, and you'll be my brother till the day I die. With that being said, Chris, why don't we play a little snippet of Nate's music, and when we come back, then you could just pop over since I'm being a mic hog today.
No, it's fine. You two know each other, so it's like I'm listening and understanding, you know, the relationship between the pair of you, not just the music that Nate brings to us, but it's good to see the collaboration and the brotherhood that you two have. So I'm sort of taking everything in, you know.
Oh, Chris, that's my brothers too, my man.
Yeah, that's the only way Nate rolls.
But with that being said, I'll put on a Beat and Sexy.
Ooh, Brand Freak song.
I'm consumed by the beauty of the moon as I gaze crosswise the room, as I set my eyes on you, and I smell your sweet perfume. Now your sexuality just scream down, bang, bang.
Can I just jump in before you say anything, Don? But you know, listening to that sound like a really good mixture of early days Pantera, and then when you hit the vocals, it sounds very much like Soundgarden, which is
wow.
Yeah, that's the feeling that this is the journey I'm going
through. About Cornell, man.
I'm talking about, fantastic singer.
Hell no.
But that's the journey my head's going through, and I'm listening to this, and it's. I mean, in Pantera, I love. You know, they were Southern rockers, and before they hit mainstay, and you know, they changed the style a tad. But that's what I hear when I'm listening to that, and it's fantastic. And there's a hint of like Mastodon in there as well, and fantastic. I really enjoy stuff like that, Nate.
I want to cover, and I've always said this. I want to cover Blood and Thunder so bad. Oh my gosh!
Yes, and I think you'd be perfect for it.
Yeah. One day, maybe, if I can talk to the boys on the planet.
I think just tell them.
But
you know,
yeah, no, that was by Brand of Freak, produced by Jim Wirt. Sounds amazing. We have not released that yet, which we're going to. After we broke up, we just kind of sat on it. You know, we never really released it, but it's been ready to go for a long time, and that's what I love about that band is. You know, no one is going to know when we wrote that because it's timeless, man. I mean, 10 years from now, we'll be like, damn.
Dude, I saw Brand of Freak live.
Live's much different. We bring it.
Oh my God, bro! You want to talk about blow your hair back, peel your skin back, fucking just raw, unsolicited, just. Oh, I mean, you can't. There's not even words to describe it. The guitarist, let me tell you.
Oh,
Bobby just freaking rips it, bro. I mean, and I'm a guitarist. I love guitarists. You know, I like Satriani, and I'm not a guitarist, but I love like Satriani, Bonamassa, a lot of different people. But see, a lot of people will really trip out when I make this statement. But I'm really a cigar box blues kind of guy. I'm a Samantha Fish, Stony Cotton Gin kind of people.
Man, dude, that's a family legacy right there, man. They're all super talented, man.
You know, but see, but people think Don, because I know Wiz Khalifa, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I've done a lot with Cash Money, Death Row. I've interviewed some of the greatest artists, shot some of the greatest artists in the world. But let me tell you what, you go to a Brand of Freak show, bruh, you better be wearing your fucking Depends because you're gonna fucking shit yourself. I mean, not only the just a raw emotion from Nate, but it's like it's evenly balanced, man. You know how you go to a show and you get these guys that, oh, I want to be out here in front. Nah, you ain't gonna get that with Brand of Freak, bro. What you get is perfectly choreographed brothers that just totally are in tune, giving the crowd what they really want. And I gotta admit, man, being at the Brand of Freak show was just, dude. I mean, I've seen Ted Nugent, all kinds of people in concert, but just the raw emotion and power that comes from Brand of Freak is second to none. And I'm not saying that because Nate's my homie, because I would tell him if his music fucking sucked.
I
But
bet you would. I bet you would, man.
no, I would. Nate, you know I'm a dick. I'm straightforward. I don't bullshit nobody. And a lot of people hate me, but I would rather tell you the truth than tell you a lie. You know,
Right.
that's the problem with a lot of, not just our country, but it's a worldwide issue. People want a fluffy when they really don't mean it. I'm going to tell you what I feel about you, whether I get up in your feelings or not. You know, it doesn't matter if Nate's my brother. I've brought Nate on shows with gigantic artists. Does it mean shit? No. I brought my brother on because he deserved to be on. And that's why I want the people of the United Kingdom to understand the purpose of what Nate White brings to the music industry, because Nate White, you got to understand, we come from a town of 143,000 people, you know, which in America isn't very much. We come from a town where there's not a whole lot of talent. But
I don't know, man. They're at this
it's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there, but not at your level, bro.
Man, it's like, dude, if you think about the bands, like seriously, like all genres. I mean, you've got the Hillbenders, you know, Johnny's playing with them. You got
Tech Nine.
yeah, well, Tech Nine, he's from Kansas City, but yeah, he comes here all the time. I love that guy. You know, you've got Steve Ames and the Hamburger Cows. You've got Elijah. You've got a band called, that used to be a band around here. Pillbox was amazing.
Pillbox was righteous.
You got Paralandra right now, you know, coming around. Troy, you know, of course, Brand of Freak, you know. I think this town has a lot in the area too. You know, you think about the Many Colored Death from Lake of the Ozarks; they're amazing.
Yeah.
I think
Sister Lucille,
Midwest Missouri, you know, southern, you know, Southwest Missouri area is growing in talent. I mean, I really do, and I think, you know, you could put them up with anybody. You know, you got Molly Healy, and she is amazing, man. You know, and she plays, you know, little clubs here and there. She's not, you know, looking for that, but she's amazing. You know, there's some talent, definitely. I mean, a lot of talent. I would say in this area for sure. That's up and coming.
Well, I'll rephrase that, because you do got like Dr. Zhivago. You got different genres of different people, but you know, even Sister Lucille and things of that nature.
Yeah,
but
Sister Lucille's doing real well. They just come off tour.
Yeah, but see, what I'm referring to because I've been in the music industry for probably 18, 19 years now, and you know that I've correlated artists onto record labels to winning BET Lyricist of the Year, Breakout Artist of the Year, you know, getting people with Redman, Method Man, and Kid Rock on their tours. You know, this is a side of me, Chris, that I very seldomly share, because I don't give two shits about what I've done. I give a shit about where I've gotten the people that I'm helping, you know, and that's where people really get fucked up in this industry, because they want to make it about them. Mm-hmm. And it's not about them. It's not about me. It's about the people, like today, like having Nate White on the show. It's about showcasing who they are, what hard work they've put in, what years they've put in to hone their craft. You know, I could give two fucks if Nate's my brother or not. Nate is one tremendous musician and multi-talented. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to give some people credit, but I'm not like that. You know, Nate works a full-time job and has kids and does all this other crap on top of it, where most people couldn't even handle a half of his load. So I want the world to understand that some of the greatest musicians like Nate, they're the most humble because they truly, really love what they do. And like Nate, if you caught what Nate said, it's not about fame or glory. It's about the passion and love that exists in his heart.
Right.
And that, bro, I will love you forever just on that simple premise that we both have walked the same walk. People call me a legend. Fuck being a legend.
Right.
I'm not a fucking legend.
No.
I mean, I fall down and hurt the same way you do. I go do my job the same way you do because it's about passion, pride, and perseverance.
Right.
You know, as a musician, I use those words: patience, pride, and perseverance. But what does that truly mean to Nate White? Because I know you do it for your family. I know you do it for your brothers in the band. But what does it do for Nate White?
Oh, it's a release. It really is. You know, like I said earlier, I absolutely love every single bit of making music, of creating. That's one thing I think we all, as humans, need to create. I think it's a stress reliever, you know, brings your brain into focus, you know, and for normal day life. Because you're right, man. I got a full-time job. I got 3 kids. You have no idea how many baseball practices and soccer practices and games. And it's every night I got something. But guess what? When they go to bed, guess what I do? I write music. I don't really watch TV. You know, I mean, like, I don't even listen to the radio or much new music, man. I concentrate on creation, man. I've got it, you know, and you, of course, know my other persona there, Don. We'll keep that quiet. But that's another passion too. You know, it's like that takes up a lot of time. And when I don't have my kids, you know, I get them every other week. So when I don't have my kids, it's, you know, it's finding out, hey, what can I do today? You know, to progress, to keep moving, to keep, you know, creating. But no, it's a stress reliever. It really is. You know, you get a lot of stress like that, and you can finally sit down. It's almost like golfing to me too. Like, gosh, what sport can you go out, get away from the world for 4 hours, smoke a little, drink a little, chase a little white ball around? That's fucking genius.
Yeah.
I mean, put your phone down. Nobody calls you. Nobody talks to you. You just sit out there with your homies and chilling and drinking and smoking and chasing a little white ball around. It's beautiful. But that's what it kind of like music is for me too. It's like my one spot to get away, you know, and create, man. Creation's amazing on all aspects, any aspect. Art or, you know, technology or you know, inventors, you know, that invent things, or it's the same thing. I mean, we all want to create something great, you know.
Before I pass it back to Chris, you know, I just want to say one thing, and I'm going to be pretty much quiet the rest of the show because I want my little homie, you know, because, you know, when I believe in somebody, I build them, and I see a young me in Chris. I really do. And see, Chris, this is one of the reasons why I love having Nate on the show, because Nate will verify this. My walk's never been about me. It's always been about building others. And Nate knows I wouldn't give 2 fucks about you if I didn't believe in you. You know, you're a tremendous young man that was doing a show with somebody else, and you kind of got left high and dry, but I seen your talent and I believed in you. And see, that's what this world needs, man. I mean, it needs people to believe in each other and lift each other up without expecting anything in return. And do I have to do a show with you? Hell no. But do I want to do a show with you? Yeah, because I see who you are, and I want the future of music, the future of the sport, the future of life to be conveyed in the way that you bring it. You know, I got TV shows here in town begging me to come on. I got everybody and their brother wanting to interview me. I don't give 2 fucks about it like that. I'm like Nate. You know, if I could sit down with my brother and have dinner, right, that's more than any fucking award. That's more than any accommodation, anything, you know. But Nate has been a true brother since day one. And Nate, I never really have said this to you, but I never would be where I'm at if it wasn't for the many times that I've been on my knees and you've pushed me and you've had me out to your studio and we've sat and we've chilled and smoked a little and, you know, fucked around and did lives, and it gave me purpose when I didn't have purpose. You know, you gave me a path when I wanted to walk away from this. You gave me my intent, the path, and my purpose again when I really didn't give two shits about being in this industry anymore. And when I saw you climb up and get back on the saddle, it just lit a fire underneath my ass, bro. It really did. And I'll be forever grateful to you, because not only did both of our careers take off, but we helped each other.
Yes.
And that's the greatest part of all of this. If that's the only thing that I could take away before I go in the ground, is this man right here allowed me to move forward in the sport. Because even you, Chris, don't even know what I've been through, but this man right here does.
Yeah.
And to see this man get the success and the greatness that he's created, I have no excuses. I have no reason not to get up.
Right.
Because
gotta get up.
Yeah, bro. You know, Chris, can we play another snippet of Nate, and then when we come back, I'll just let you run the show for a little bit, brother.
Yeah, this track, Nate, my point exactly. Very adequate. That's all gone in that way then.
Oh, yeah.
Cringing, feeling that I found me. I'm not exactly sure of whatever came to be, but I'm exactly sure that I am feeling whatever I'm supposed to be is of the purest sense. It never occurred to me that I'm exactly sure that I'm of. Seeing if I found me, I'm not exactly sure of what time it could be, but I'm exactly sure that I am seeing whatever I'm supposed to see. It's not exactly pure. It just occurred to me that I'm exactly sure that I'm of.
Gotta let solos play. You can't stop solos. Once they go, you gotta let them go.
Right.
You can't pause out a solo. And when I was about to pause it, and then the solo kicked in, and I thought, no. I always know, like being in a band, that you gotta let the person flow with the solos. Again, I never. It's a different again, showing different styles between beat sexy and then my point exactly. But it shows how diverse you are with your music. Which again, I mean, I don't play it anymore. I suppose I could pick a drum kit up and play again. It's like riding a bicycle, I guess. But since it does inspire me, I mean, it's like I love the genre of heavy music. It makes me fucking go mad, but passionately. Right. So it must make you want to bounce off the ceiling, because I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, that one. That song has. Let's see, it's got Eric Allen and Johnny Schmidt. Eric Allen plays lead guitar on that. Johnny Schmidt plays bass. I play rhythm, and Mike Price, talented drummer, plays drums on that song. And I wrote that, and it's essentially a song that affirms that I'm doing what I was put here on this earth to do. Because you question it. Am I really doing this? Why am I really doing this? And it was like, And the chorus of that is, you know, because I feel so alive when I'm doing it, you know. I mean, I dig that song a lot. I love the little icon that popped up because it was me and my boy Hendrix. And I remember that when I took that picture, it was like the first time. It was like one of the first nights when I started working on my project, you know, and I came home and let him listen to it. He was just all about it. He was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, you know, and you could see it in his face. And no, it's amazing, man. Yeah, my kids love it, so I know it's got to be decent, right? That must drive you on as well, though, Nate. It means
yes. I obviously have 3 kids myself, and then, as Dom will tell you, a zoo to follow with my kids to go along with it. But I mean, it like they don't get really what I do with doing this. They get an inkling, but you know, I mean, they're still young, and you know, I mean, it's probably different between playing music and being a podcaster and interviewing people. But they do always ask, and you know, who have you got on today, Daddy? Or you know, little things like that. But that still puts a fire at my arse as well, because it's like, you know, I will, you know, do this as best as I can and learn from people like Don McGuire. That, you know, it'll help me along the way to become something, whatever it may be in this journey. But I'm excited for it. For you to have your kids and having them listen to something that you've produced, that just must be something that words can't describe.
Yes. No, you're exactly right. They're kind of my gauge makers, you know, like I'll bring a new track home and I'll be like, do you like this one? And they'll be like, So I'm like, all right, cool. I won't use that one. But majority, they're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, they definitely tell you the truth, man. Kids are crazy. They have no filter.
Yeah.
No.
And but 95% of the time they love it. So, you know, there's only been a couple times when and most of the songs that they kind of don't like are very musically challenging as far as time signature changes and you know, tempo changes where their brain's not understanding it, because most people who don't play music, you know, want that 4/4, 3/4, you know, steady flow. So if you get more intricate, it kind of like Primus. I mean, not a lot of people like Primus. I love Primus, but
Primus is good.
Man, they're so talented, you know. And I think that the more complex a musical piece is, fewer people get into it, because it's not your stock rock 20, you know, 4/4, 2/4, whatever.
Well, can I jump in here real quick? Because if I don't, I'm going to lose this point of thought. You know, Nate brings up Primus. They're a fucking prime example of what me and Nate are. Even though they've hit superstardom, you go to a Primus show, you're not going to see the musicians. They have all these bright lights and beautiful videos and everything going on, but where are the musicians? Right? They're standing in the shadows. Right. They don't have spotlights on them.
Yeah.
It's more about their music than it is about them.
Correct.
And that's a beautiful thing. You know, I was disappointed when I went to a Primus show and, you know, I heard more Rush than I did Primus. I mean, come on, at least do fucking, you know, Johnny Was a Race Car Driver, 22 years old. Instead, all I heard was Rush, you know, and I didn't pay $100 to go see Rush, you know. But the thing about it is you are what you create. And the thing about it is, you know, Nate, we brought up Tech 9, and theoretically Tech 9 is from Kansas City, but think back in the day when I was going to buy the juke joint, when me and Terry were going to buy the juke joint right off the square.
Right.
Tech was doing shows down here, couldn't get 10, 12, 13, 14 people.
Yeah, he was down
into
here
the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get people into the club. And, you know, eventually Tech made a trip out to California about the time trap music was becoming famous.
Right.
And the cool thing about it was my son at one point in time was a world famous DJ. You know, he opened for a lot of bands. He did a lot of things, and he was quite successful in his day. But see, that's the thing about our city. you know, it can make or break you. And that's the tremendous thing about Nate. It's made Nate. Where people like Tech Nine failed here, but went to California, now do tremendous worldwide. Nate's never failed. Nate's always moved forward. And that's a tremendous accolade to the love that he has for music, the passion he has for music. You know, you Nate, you amaze me, bro, because you do so much outside of the music world. I don't see where you find time to create the greatness that you have, but it's a true testament to the love that you have for music.
Right. Yeah.
And that's something you can't buy. That's something you can't fake. It has to be here, because if it's not here, it's not going to happen. And I'll tell you what, man, watching you perform live, bro, it's just such an incredible, I don't know, man. There's not even a word to describe what you do on stage. And I'm not fluffing you. I'm just telling you the truth. I was just blown away. You don't need all the fancy lights. You don't need, it's just fucking pure, raw, intense.
Right.
And I mean, anybody in their right mind, if you get a chance to go see Nate White perform, you will understand why I love this dude.
Oh, Justin Clapper, big guy over in America with the professional wrestling side of things, just checking if anyone has volume. I hear nothing.
I hear all of us.
If you carry on speaking, I'll just turn up on my phone just to see if I. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can hear. Justin, I'm not sure what this.
Hey, Justin, get off your Obama phone.
What do you mean get off his Obama phone?
It's only in America you'd understand that, bro. It's a joke, homie.
All right, I take it as a joke. It's fine. But you
Nate didn't know. Nate's looking at me like, I'm gonna slap you, little homie.
Nate, I want to sort of stop back with going back to your music side, and what influenced you? There's a certain band or an artist that inspired you. For me, on the metal side was always like Dave Lombardo from Slayer. I just loved everything he did with the footwork. Not just with the fills, but when he's doing by 4x4 or an 8x8 beat, and it blew me away. And then I'm going to sort of cite like the pop punk, but Travis Barker, just because how intricate he was and things he could do with a drum kit.
Right.
At me at a young age, I was like, I need to do whatever he's doing because it was amazing. That inspired me then to do all sorts of probably awful music, but I loved playing the drums, so it never bothered me what people thought. But as long as I enjoyed it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But what the artists or bands that influenced you to play such heavier music?
Well, I mean, it's probably a band. I don't know if any of you guys know. They were big when the grunge era came up. They didn't get as much recognition as I thought, but Paul, PAW. Right. They're from Lawrence, Kansas. They're signed with A&M Records for like 3 albums, and then they broke up. But Mark Hennessy, the lead singer, he's got a new band called Godzillionaire. You should check that out. It's pretty dope. But so Paul was a big influence as far as, man, it was like the first album I got that was it. To me, it was a little heavier than grunge. But there's so many. Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains. I love Pantera. Yes. Of course, Slayer. It's funny because you get all these death metal bands and all they want to be is Slayer, and there will only be one Slayer.
Definitely 100%.
Nobody even touches them. But like you said earlier, Soundgarden, man. Chris Cornell's voice is so amazing. I don't have that range. I'm more of like the Jim Morrison low range, Yeah. And then Scream, of course.
I know. That first song we played today on the show. You don't have to sound like Chris Cornell. he is like, I put him under the likes of, like, say, Freddie Mercury when it comes to someone with that sort of talented vocal, that, you know, they're one of a kind that you can never get there. But I think, you know, yourself is, you can hear the hints of that style.
Right. And I mean, honestly, I'm a fan of anyone who writes. I'm a huge lyricist. I mean, I would rather be known as a great lyricist than a great singer any day of the week.
Yeah.
But, you know, even like, you know, of course, Maynard from Tool. I mean, his lyrics are so amazing. If I like a band, it's because of their lyrics. I mean, really, you know, and that's one thing I try to pride myself on is, you know, you get a lot of these bands that just write about nonsense. You know, they're wanting to make a pop song, so they'll, you know,
Get charts and getting up. Yeah. I know. I get that.
Instead of just like writing, to me, if you're not writing from your heart or about, if it doesn't mean something to you, like truly, it's just fake. You can tell some of the songs, you know, the newer songs I'm listening to. Occasionally, I'm like,
Do you stick to, like, I only stick? I don't really listen to a lot of new stuff. So I've put you as a check there because you're the newest stuff I've listened to, even though some of your stuff's a bit older. But I don't normally venture out into the new era of bands. I like to stick to what I know. And if they don't release new albums, I'm not bothered, because there's always certain tracks for certain albums that, you know, you can sort of, you feel it, if you know what I mean. Do you feel the same way? Do you venture into newer bands? Because I know obviously you probably tour with certain ones, but, or do you sort of stick to the bands you know?
Oh no, I don't. If somebody comes to me, you know, with a new artist, I will listen to them. And man, there are, like, for instance, I mean, he's not so new anymore, but like Black Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Black Joe Lewis and the Honey Bears? Oh my Lord, that dude's amazing. Oh God, I love the dude. He's like our generation's fucking James Brown, man. He's awesome. And I'd never heard him before, and somebody turned me on to him, and I fell in love with him. You know, but no, I do like to venture. You know, I get, you know, a lot of my friends obviously are big fans of just music and like kind of the same stuff I do. And you know, if they hear something new that comes out, you know, they'll throw it my way and I'll check it out. And most of the time I dig it, you know. But really, I think a lot of the bands that I listen to are the bands like that I've played with. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Texas Hippie Coalition, they've been around for a while, and no offense but to them at all, but I had not heard of them because I don't stick my ear. You know, I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to, you know, Spotify. If I told you the music I listen to on the daily basis, you'd probably be like, what? But it's like MF Doom or, you know, Madlib. You know, things like that. I love like hip hop, R&B, instrumental stuff as well. It's just RJD2. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
man,
nice.
I'm just pulling out the big guns here.
Right.
The bike, and I probably sound ignorant when I say I don't really venture in. I like to stick to old stuff. I feel like, especially when I'm in work, and Don will tell you, I'm in work pretty much early in the morning over here in the UK, and I listen to Spotify, obviously, but I go back to when I was a teenager and sitting in like what we call Areas Park, which is just a big, massive grass area with a few kids' parks everywhere. Now, obviously, there's a stadium because Noel Gallagher, as I can hear him through my window, is currently playing live at. But I like to reminisce on sort of old stuff. I go back and I don't know, I can picture happier days. I know I'm not saying that things aren't happy now, but just where there was just bliss. You were a teenager just finding out where you're going in the world.
Well, can I jump in here real quick? Because, you know, it's like we talk about our love for different musics. You know, 31 years ago when I came to the Ozarks, if you would have told me that I would be a bluegrass freak, I would have laughed at you. You know, I really would have laughed at you. I tell you what, though, we used to have these festivals called Route 66, where anybody from Charlie Daniels to Sean Costello to you freaking name it. Where it was a 3-day festival, and from morning till night, from Martina McBride to you name it, we're on these shows for years. And then some ignorant fool in Joplin started stabbing people in line, and they kind of squashed it. Route 66 is starting to come back. But I can understand Nate's walk, because I've dealt with Uncle Cracker, I've dealt with fucking Little White, I've dealt with Tech Nine, and you know, the thing of it is the most special moments in my whole musical background, first and foremost, is with Nate White. The second would be with a drummer from the original founding drummer of the Foo Fighters, who originally left there, went to Sunny Day Real Estate. And, you know, I posted a clip recently, and I don't think people really got it. You know, I called, you know the story, Chris, and I think you know the story, Nate. I called William Goldsmith. He'd been in hiatus for 8 years. You know, he was in the Sunny Day Real Estate. Then he went to the Foo Fighters, and then he quit because he got in a big argument with Dave Grohl. And then he went back to Sunny Day Real Estate, then took an 8-year hiatus. I called him it was a Monday or a Tuesday. And I said, "You're coming on the show Sunday." "Well, I ain't got no music. We're just now in talks about if we're going to do this band." I said, "I don't give 2 fucks, bro. You're coming on the show Sunday. You need to get me 3 tracks by Friday." Those 3 tracks, they got to me by Friday. They decided to be a band. And the reason I'm telling this story, because it's a lot like Nate. But 2 of those tracks off that album became their hits. That album that I forced them to create, that he talks about in that little snippet, was in the top 10 of Rolling Stone's albums for 2021. See, that's the beautiful thing about music. You find the right correlation, and you find the right people to push you, and then you become successful, like that man right there. And it's not always about having 100,000 people in an arena. It's not always about that.
No, but
It's kind
dude,
of-
I'll melt 100,000 faces for sure.
Oh, I know you will, bro. And see, honestly, man, I'm like Nate. You know, I don't really go to too many shows. It took Nate asking me to go to a show to go to a show. And that day, man, dude, he not only melted everybody's faces, but he lit the bonfire 10 times more than what it already was, bro. It was just, it's one of those moments in your life that you won't never forget. Because you got to remember, me and Nate are homies, and I had never really seen him other than, you know, being in the studio, Studio 2100 with Brian. I had never really been to one of his shows. So we've been friends all this time. I finally get to go to a show, and my jaw hit the fucking ground, bro. I mean, well, yeah, because I didn't realize the man that I loved, and that is my family, was so fucking talented. And, you know, I guess it's a good thing the way it played out, because I listened to his music, but unless you see him live, you know, how does that commercial go back from the 80s, Nate? Unless it's live, something about Memorex. I can't fucking remember.
Showing your age now, done.
Well, yeah, but the thing of it is, the point I'm trying to get, if you're in the United States, near or around Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, you or Kentucky, you really need to go see Nate White, and whatever band he's with, you really need to go see them perform, because you're not going to get a bar band. You're not going to get some bullshit. You're going to get raw, unadulterated, fucking just in your face, powerful. Just, I mean, words, like I said, words can't really describe what seeing Nate White and his mates in a live show really do. I mean, yeah, I've shot thrash bands, I've shot grunge bands, I've shot, he even knows, Macabre and all of them back in the day.
Right.
But they don't hold a fucking candlestick to what Branda Freak and Nate White and all of his other ventures do. They just don't. And I'm not saying it because my homie's on the show, because if his music sucked, I would tell him his music sucked. But and you guys don't even know the half of what he's doing. That's the crazy part about it. I know a little bit more than the average bear, but let me tell you, like he said, you know, there's a persona to him that I can't let out here. If the fucking world knew that part of him, they would be blown away.
Dude,
I mean,
dope as fuck too.
Yeah, it would, right?
I'm telling you, man, my kids ask to hear that all the time. They're just like, Dad, we play that, we play that. I think it was like last week we were, you know, because they're out of school now. So we were all sitting in the garage. I got a bar in my garage. So we were all sitting in there and pulled out the Bluetooth. And I was like, what do you guys want to listen to? And they said it. And boy, we jammed it all night long. It was awesome. Dance party in the garage.
Great. Yeah.
I can't wait until, and I'm going to make this happen one day, man. I'm going to, whether it be at the Riff or at the Shrine Mosque or somewhere, I'm going to create an aspect to where you can come out in that persona.
That'd be
Because
awesome.
the world ain't going to know who it is. This is the great part about it is, and it's just, oh, dude,
Yeah.
I love it because, you know, I can't share it, but when it drops, the world is going to motherfucking know, bro. That's what's dope about it.
Dude, Danny, you know, DJ P, you know, when we were in his studio, you know, we were listening to because we had just gotten the test presses in for my album. And so I played him, you know, some of that. And he was just like, that's you? I was like, yeah. Yeah. And he's like, that's all you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, we need to get that on record next. So that's the next goal, to get that on some vinyl. Spin that up.
It's going to pop heads, bro. Chris, right. It's going to pop heads, bro. That's all I can really say, because I don't want to give away too much.
That's all you want from music. Like, you know, I'd love to see you live, but obviously you have to hop over
I
this.
want to tour Europe, dude. I'm not even joking. Like, I want a European tour, dude. My buddies we're playing a show in October 7th with my buddies from Hemlock, and right before COVID hit, they were on tour with Slayer over in Europe. I was so jealous. I was like, God, I want to go, man. That nothing would mean more to me than do, like, you know, a European tour, man.
I'd definitely be there.
For sure. I'll make it a point.
Hey, we can get over here. Kick Noel Gallagher off and put yourself on there instead.
I know. Dude, I got to call you now that we've, you know, met and, you know, really talked, man. Now you're just like, Chris, my homie.
I'll take that. I'll take that all day long, mate. I'll take that all day long.
No, I'd love to.
He means that, bro. I mean,
no, totally. I obviously would just say it for a slap and a tickle, though, would he?
What the fuck is a slap and a tickle, bro?
There you go. That's what it's a British term, John. It's a British term. You know, I'm the only UK guy here. I gotta bring this some representative here, don't I?
You bring your slap and tickle, homie.
No, you probably like that though, wouldn't you?
Hey man, that's gonna be the next track I write right there. Slap and tickle.
Why not? I'll even take a little picture for you.
There you go.
Hey, Chris, don't we have one more to queue up?
If it works, because obviously I had issues with StreamYard not allowing me to put anything else on. So if it works, it works. This obviously is the intro, and I love that song. Nate, it's the first song I listened to of your music, and I instantly, in my head, when Don said we need a new intro, when we came together to do Big Fight Weekly, that was the song that was straight in my head, because it just sets you on a journey. And when your lyrics kick off, it just leads straight into me and Don, and I just thought that was perfect. So hopefully now, while I try it, it'll work.
Oh, yeah.
I'll kill them when they come.
I'm just going to say, when you say it's going to be lights out, that was my perfect image to flip into Big Fight Weekly on the intro, yeah, because I feel like it's fighting talk, you know, the way you're explaining it, because obviously it was a real life situation of the song that you made. So
you know what that song's about? Did I tell you?
Yeah, you sent me links on it, so yeah, I have read on it, yeah.
So,
but I thought it was perfect. It was perfect.
It's pretty intense song, man. That's why I loved it, putting it number one on the record, man. Because if you can make it through that, man, the rest of it's cake.
Well, yeah, like I said to you when we spoke about it on Facebook, that it sends you straight on a journey, and it's quite impactful straight away. If you listen to the lyrics, and people, if you do, the link is down below for all of Nate White's music and his Spotify account, so you can go listen to that at your pleasure and play it fucking loud as well, because it deserves to be as loud as possible.
It's available everywhere and anywhere.
There you go.
You know
the whitemusic.net and purchase 180-gram white vinyl.
Why would you want to? You would want one of them in your house as well.
I got one of them in my motherfucking house, bruh. I got 2 of them.
All right, Mr. Greedy.
No, one for my son and one for me.
Oh, yeah. Was that middle finger for me then, was it as well?
Kind of sleight of hand there, mate.
Yeah, whatever.
But you know what we need to do is, in a few months here, I want to do a correlation. I want to do a correlation with William Goldsmith, Tech Nine, Nate White, and my brother Michael Francis from Soul Rebel Project.
Yeah.
International Artist of the Year for the last 4 years. And I want to bring a correlation and do kind of like a round table from all different genres, because all the gentlemen that I mentioned truly deserve to be remembered in the history and in the walk of music. You know, Nate, I know we're bros, but on a professional level, not only you're amazing, talented, and you bring it in a show, but you're one of the most real motherfuckers that anybody could be blessed to know.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, exactly. That's why I roll the way I do. And a lot of people say I'm a dick, but like I said, do you want me to lie to you? I'm black and white. I only know how to be real. That's why I get along with the people from the UK. Because in America, I'll get all up in your motherfucking feelings and not give 2 shits, because I'm honest, and people don't know how to handle real honesty. Right. And you know the people that I know. And I wouldn't have got where I'm at in this industry if I was any other way. But one thing I'll say on my final note on this show, I'm blessed not only to have you as a brother, but to see you and to know you as an artist, because you truly deserve any acclaim, any fame, even though I know you don't want it. You deserve to be here not because you want it, but because you earned it. And you put in the time, the effort, and the passion to get there.
Right.
You know what? Real quick though, there's no difference between the name on your shirt than the man in front of me. You might say there is, but as a man that loves music,
right,
I would enjoy your show much more than I enjoyed their last.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I mean,
that's the truth.
My whole goal is, that's it, man, to make, to make a living out of doing what I love. I think that's what everybody wants to do, and everybody's, but I'm not going to stop. So, I mean, till it happens. I mean, there's no way I'm going to stop. I could be 60 years old out there mounting faces. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, I'll be 60 years old on the 23rd, and I'm still fucking doing it.
I'm still in my, early ages of my 40s. So we're
still in puberty. Yeah, still in puberty.
I'll say nothing then. Just.
Oh, you're just like a wet nap.
Oh, I see. This is why I wasn't going to say anything, because I knew something like that would pop out your mouth.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything different, would you?
No, I wouldn't at all. That's why everyone fucking loves you, mate.
Hey, you know, Nate, I appreciate you really believing in Chris.
Oh yeah,
You
man.
know, and now the thing of it is in a world full of hate, we got to have somebody to pick on.
No, I had this with Matt Hughes. You're not doing it again to me at all, mate.
Oh, Nate, Matt Hughes, Matt Hughes gave him such bullshit on the show, but you know, that's the beauty of life. And see, when you get at this level, bro, you'll understand when people pick on you, it's because they love you. You know, Matt Hughes loves you, homie. Ken Shamrock loves you. See, what I did to him, Nate, was I gave him, you know, up and comers to middle of the road legends. And then I smacked him with Matt Hughes on a Thursday and Ken Shamrock on a Friday. Two of the greatest fighters ever to come out of the UFC back to back. Because if you can't handle the heat, then there's no sense of me wasting my time on you. And he did tremendous. And that's why I wanted him to bring you on the show, because I want the world to know who Nate White is.
Yeah.
And that's one of my dying wishes, is to share each and everybody that's come on my path with the world.
Right.
So Chris, you're more than just my mutual buddy. We're more than just mutual host. You're a man that's across the pond that can share my brother and allow him to be known worldwide.
Yeah.
And see that? Yeah, well, that's what a brotherhood's about. That's
Right.
why today existed. You know, Nate, from the bottom of my heart, homie, I love you.
Love you, brother.
And
Love you too, Chris.
And you too, matey.
but the thing of it is, Nate, I'm going in for surgery here shortly. I'm not going to tell anybody why, but
Right.
Chris knows. But if you could make it to my house before the 23rd, which is my birthday, the great big 6-0 for me,
Ooh, damn.
I would greatly appreciate that, man, because this next surgery might not work out too well. But I just want to spend one more day with you in case something bad happens, because you've really made a difference in my life. Like I said, when I was on my knees and ready to walk away from the sport, you inspired me through your music and through your walk to get up off my knees and create greatness again. Nobody else in this world could have done it for me, but you did. And I'll be forever grateful. You know, you'll always be my blood.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And you're gonna get up from this one too. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, I've told him this too.
Yep.
I'm not sure this time. 246 surgeries in, and by the time I'll be done, I'll be at 249, 250. And let's face it, it's hard on this old dog. And
Right.
you know what? But you know what? One thing I ain't is a quitter.
That's right.
And keep inspiring me, bro. Keep giving me the faith I need to get up each and every time. I love you, man. And I'm
you
gonna
do the same for me, brother. I know you do.
let Chris wrap things up here, bro.
Nate, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving us your music for our intro. I need to make an outro, and I feel like Beating Sexy from the Band of Freaks, if I'm allowed to, would be perfect for me if I could. But I just want to say thank you. You are inspirational. I don't speak to many artists, speak to a lot of fighters, don't I? And our friend here, Don. And it's nice to see from a different side of things, the inspiration and passion. And yes, okay, I know this through listening to music for so many years, through artists and watching them besides playing music, when you can see documentaries, but to actually sit here and listen to, what you've had to put yourself through, being a family man, working full time, and still having time to go and learn, all the aspects of making music. It's really inspirational. And to say again, it puts a fire at my arse, because it's like, I want that same drive and passion. I'm not saying I don't have it, but I'm still learning on the job. And to me, again, this is not about fame. This isn't about being the best podcast or show in the world. It's doing something that I love, and I cherish the moments I've had so far doing this.
And it's being real, man. You're a real dude.
Yeah. And I obviously I can't thank you enough for giving your time up for myself and Don to have a chat with you, and it's nice to be something different, and then having to talk about fights all the time. And music again is something I'm passionate about. I wouldn't have been a drummer, or started playing music if I didn't have any passion for music. So yeah, I can't thank you enough. And is there anything you want to shout out?
Like I said, you're helping me, bringing it to a whole different part of the world, and I do appreciate that, man. Like I said, first time I get a chance to go over there, I'm calling you up.
I'm there. I am there.
I'm going to make that happen, bro. I'm going to make that happen.
Awesome.
Is there anything you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just shout out to my, of course, all three of my kids, my mother. She's been nothing but supportive through all this, through all my journeys. And, also, though, go to natewhitemusic.net. I'm available. Get my solo album, Princess Superhero. Brand of Freaks going to be releasing their album soon on all digital formats. Interrogation Point is already available anywhere: Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, blah 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 blah, or YouTube or whatever. Just check it out, and got a lot of projects. So keep your ears open for that Nate White sound.
Ears open, mouth shut.
Right.
Love you, homie.
Love you too, man. Thanks for having me on, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it, my friend.
For sure. Definitely.
Right.
Take care.
Peace.
Peace, bro. Peace. You got to remove them. There you go, bro.
Yeah, I know. I froze. That's why. My computer froze.
That's because you're cold-blooded.
I probably am cold-blooded, yeah. I'm British after all.
That dude is one of the most humble dudes you'll ever freaking meet in the music industry. I know after I did the show with Bone Thugs and Harmony and had him, and he was like, how in the fuck am I supposed to follow up after some of the greatest icons in hip hop? Honestly, I enjoyed his interview more than I did Bone Thugs and Harmony. I did this because I wanted to teach you a couple things.
Yeah.
And diversity is the key. It's not always about the fight world. It's not always about the music world. It's just about life in general. If you have the ability to interview anybody, because I've interviewed from Steve-O to you name it. I've done Hollywood actors, movie stars, everybody in the music industry, everybody in the fight world, to freaking scientists, to book authors. And one thing I found in my long, very, very long, arduous career is diversity is the key to success. Don't ever limit yourself to one pertinent box, because there's 100,000 other shows out there that just fucking do that. They limit themselves, and you're not really adding to the world. You're just giving something to the world that they already know. And that's why I love doing interviews with you, because I told you what I see is a young me in you. And that was no bullshit. Your style of interviewing, a lot of people say, Don, your show really isn't a sports show. Bullshit. All I'm doing is giving you the backside of the fighter, the man behind the fighter. I'm giving you something that you cannot find anywhere else in the world. And you have that exact ability to do that. Look back at Ken Shamrock. One of the greatest moments in your career thus far.
Yeah, easily.
Every time I have him on, the man amazes me and adds new value to who I am. So, the Lion's Den question was formidable, bro.
Thank you.
It was priceless, because you took those two snippets, one of mine from an interview 6 months ago, and one of yours from this last week.
Yeah.
perfectly choreographed, perfectly correlated.
It did, didn't it? It just fell into place.
Well, because I took him from Pancrase to the beginning of the UFC, and like he said, I already beat Boss Rutan's ass twice. I'm already the greatest in Pancrase. You know, I wanted to know about this bare knuckle, it being able to choke and beat people, you know, and if this was real, then I want to be a part of it. And he says,
Yeah.
and it was real, and the rest is history. And then to drop the Lions Den right after that, you took two parts of that man's life from two different shows, but you never would have known it unless I told it today.
Yeah.
But that's what you bring to this sport. That's why I reached out in the beginning and agreed to do this show with you.
Yeah.
Because
And I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Well, hold up, bro. It's just believe in yourself. If you believe, you can achieve. And I saw what you bring. And whether you're in a small town in Wales or a fucking gigantic city somewhere else in the world, doesn't mean shit. Greatness and ability comes from your heart. And bro, you're not short on heart. You're not short on humility, and you're not short on passion.
Appreciate it.
You're a tremendous young man, and I'm going to say it while I got the chance to, because you won't let me say it in a regular phone call. But you are the future.
Listen, I take that, and I appreciate you saying that. You know what I mean? Hopefully, maybe, but you know what I mean? This is the start of the journey. We'll see where it takes us both, and you know, I hope there'll be some part of the future, or make some sort of impact on this sort of podcast show sort of world. I'd love to, but you know, at the same time I'll take one day at a time and one show at a time, and see how it goes. This is a marathon; it's not a race, so I'm just excited to see what we can come up with and the people we can speak to. It all inspires me, and you know, listening to you and your show from the original Fighter's Voice, and getting from how you speak to people, and then mixing it into how I do it. You know, people, and you know this because I've said to you, people said, like, you know, like my Mrs. Allison said, like, you know, you two interview people so similar. And we do. And this is before she really sat down and watched us both do it together.
Yeah. You know, either bring it real and raw, or don't freaking bring it at all. You know, and that's all I do. Our shows are about us. And that's the greatest gift. That's the greatest gift. We don't make it about us. It's about the person on our show. And you know, I know you feel the same way that I do, and this is going to be my ending note.
Okay.
It's not about a like. It's not about a share. I mean, it's greatly appreciated if you love what we do to do that, but that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for fame. We're not looking for stardom. What we want to do is give you the best look behind the person that you respect, and whatever genre it is. And if we could bring that little moment of real, that brief look, and to that person you hold in so high regard, if we can give you just a sneak peek into who that person truly is, then we've done our job. And that's all that matters.
I totally agree. I said this to you from the beginning. You know, you can, and I think it was just after I interviewed Lyndon Vassell, and we spoke very briefly after that. And I said to you, I'm not bothered about talking about the fights. I'm not talking. You know, you can go and watch these things on YouTube. You can go back and find their career, but you can't go back and listen to them explain what they've done in their life, and not just mixed martial arts, but everything that comes with them that got them there, that inspired them, and what they want to pass on to the future generation. You can't find that on YouTube. And that's what I want to do. And that's what you do yourself. And that's why we work so well, because we have the same mindset of how we want to speak to someone. You know, like how we just spoke to Nate. It's not all about the music. It's how he got there and what gives him the lift every day to go and write a song. Or it's inspiring. And these are different people from all different walks of life, and it excites me. And like I said to Nate before, it gives me more passion to do this, speaking to different people and listening to what got them where they are.
And bro, let me tell you something about Nate. When he said you're his brother, he really meant that.
And I totally appreciate it. It's just a shame you guys are over there and I'm over here. It's something that I'd rather be doing things like this in person. One day we will do a show together, and it won't be just screens per se for the viewers or the audio listeners. We'll be together, like doing it properly. And that's a dream of mine. At some point in my life, we will do Big Fight Weekly or whatever show we will be doing at that point in time together live. And that's something, is my goal. And I want to make that happen before anything else.
Well, before I leave this earth, right before the pandemic hit me, Sugar Ray Leonard called me and said, I want you to interview me, but I want to do it face to face. And then the pandemic hit. And then they came out with that bull crap, 2 weeks to slow the spread, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We rescheduled again, and then the country got shut down again. And that's one interview face to face that I really want, because then I will know that I truly succeeded when Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the greatest fighters of all times, is sitting side by side with me. And then the other show I want to do is with you sitting side by side with me. So on that note, I appreciate you, all of you in the UK. I know a lot of Americans don't really understand your banter or the lifestyle, but I do. And I truly appreciate the UK, because you're a lot like me. You don't bullshit people. You tell people exactly like it is, and you get up into people's feelings. But you know what? Life is real. So one thing I appreciate about the people from the UK is they don't sugarcoat shit. No. And Americans, I love you, but I spent a lot of time in the UK. And they will get all up in your feelings. And you know what? Our country has become this little skinny jean wearing little... I don't even know what the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, but at the same time, the point I'm trying to get, the banter and the real aspect of the true, essence of the people from the UK is they don't give two fucks about your feelings. They're going to tell you straight up. Mm-hmm. And, Americans tell me I'm a dick, but yet I get along with British people and people from the UK just fine. And so, like I told you previously on a phone call, maybe I was meant to be born over there.
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Because I'm black and white. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for anybody. I'm going to tell it like it is. And if I get up all in your feelings, go cry to somebody, because I don't want to hear it. I got 50 cents. Go call somebody who gives a fuck. I don't. But I appreciate you, mate. You're a tremendous young lad, and you've done a lot. And we're going to continue to grow Big Fight Weekly. We're going to continue to share things. And we got some secret people maybe coming on here real short that are going to make Ken Shamrock look like a Lucky Charm. So,
yeah.
With that being said, man, I love the UK. I appreciate you, my brother.
And you, mate.
But peace out.
See you next week. Ciao.
All right, bro. Ciao.